What's good with you guys? Your boy Devil here, and I'm back with another reaction video today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be pocket watching, you feel me? Be pocket watching. We're gonna watch inside the most expensive houses of WWE wrestlers by Wrestle Mafia. The link to the original video will be in the description down below. You guys wanna check it out for yourself. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Every like, comment, and sub is greatly appreciated and helps us get one step closer to our goal. SummerSlam is this weekend, and I will, God willingly, be going live on Saturday and Sunday for both nights. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Come through, chat it up. Let's talk about SummerSlam. Let's just hope it's a good PLE, because I mean these main shows, man. But anyways, that's enough yapping. Oh, go follow the Twitch too, man. We're on the road to 20 followers over there. That's enough yapping. Let's get straight to the vid.
From lavish indoor pools to private baseball fields, from waterfront compounds to Spanish-style homes, these are the million-dollar mansions of famous WWE wrestlers. Kicking off our list with John Cena, and honestly, this one is a treat. Cena bought his home in Land O'Lakes, a quiet suburb near Tampa, back in 2005. The price tag back then was just $525,000. Today, that same property is worth roughly $4 million. The mansion sits on a gated lot and blends classic colonial styling with modern upgrades Cena added over the years. But the real showstopper is inside. Cena built an indoor pool designed to look like a cave. You've got rock formations, waterfalls, water slides, and tropical plants, all enclosed under glass so sunlight pours in without letting the Florida humidity wreck the place. It genuinely looks like a theme park water ride built inside someone's living room. Then there's the cigar lounge, which Cena has called his gentleman's room. Leather couches, a chessboard,
Oh, John Cena rich. Hey, John Cena rich. Okay, I see what you're working with, John. I see what you're working with, bro. You rich. This is basically what you call fuck you money. You know what I'm saying? Where you just got a lot of money and you can just spend it on whatever, and it ain't gonna really hurt your pockets.
Lighting, and specialized ventilation so the smoke doesn't end up everywhere else in the house. It's less of a man cave and more of a private lounge that most five-star hotels would envy. And because no wrestler's house is complete without somewhere to park serious cars, Cena's garage holds 6 vehicles, including a few from his personal collection of Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Add in a home theater, a game room, and a wine cellar, and you start to understand why this house took nearly 2 decades to fully become what it is today. Cena's mansion isn't flashy from the street. It's the kind of place that hides its best secrets indoors. And speaking of hidden surprises, our next wrestler's home has one that involves water, speed, and a lot of screaming kids. The Undertaker built a reputation on being the scariest man in WWE history, but his home in Austin, Texas is completely opposite to that dark persona. Mark Calloway, along with his wife Michelle McCool, settled into a home in the Texas Hill Country that feels like a relaxed family retreat. The standout feature here is the backyard pool.
I ain't gonna lie. That slide is kind of tough. I ain't gonna cap. That slide is kind of tough. That side is a little tough.
And specifically, the slide attached to it. This isn't some plastic slide you'd find at a big box store. It's a custom sculptural water slide built by a design studio called Splinterworks, cooled with a water system to keep it from turning into a hot metal slide under the brutal Texas sun. Beyond the pool, the home offers sweeping views of the hill country. It's a quieter chapter compared to his earlier Texas ranch near Houston, which had a gothic mansion with gargoyles and a private pond, once rented out by Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. This newer home trades the spooky aesthetic for something a lot more family-friendly. On screen, he was the Undertaker. At home, he's just a dad with a really impressive pool slide. But from one legend settling into family life, we go to a legend who's been building an empire of mansions that most wrestlers can only dream of.
Oh, now we know. Hey, we're being honest. Rock probably gonna have the most expensive house on this list. I mean, not even just off that Hollywood money, bro. The Hollywood money.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson owns one of the biggest lots in the entire Beverly Hills neighborhood. In April 2021, Johnson paid $27.8 million for a Mediterranean-style mansion in the ultra-exclusive North...
The Rock, bro. Hold on, man. Hold on, Rock. This video, hey, now like I said, in this video we pocket watching. 27.8 million, you just got that to spend on a home? Slide me something, man, you know what I'm saying? Slide me just 500K, a mil, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Damn, bro, he just got 20. Is it not crazy? 27.8 just to spend on a home, bro? Like, cause we'll be honest. Let's be honest, bro. He don't need that house. He don't need that house. You know what I'm saying?
Beverly Park community. The initial asking
That's
price was
crazy.
$30 million, but The Rock negotiated it down because apparently even action movie stars like a good deal. The home has serious history behind it. It was built back in 1993 by Alex Van Halen and later sold to actor Paul Reiser before landing in Johnson's hands. The estate spans 3.67 acres with nearly 18,000 square feet of living space between the main house and a separate 2,500 square foot guest house. Inside, there are 6 bedrooms and 11 and a half bathrooms, which is more bathrooms than most people will use.
Nigga, what? What did he just say, bro? Did he just say 11 bathrooms, bro? Nah, I misheard that. I misheard that. He didn't say that. There ain't no way.
Inside, there are 6 bedrooms and 11 and a half bathrooms, which is more bathrooms than most people will use in a lifetime. But outside is where things get...
Who needs that many bathrooms, bro? Who needs that many bathrooms? That's crazy, bro. You have more bathrooms than bedrooms. Dog, that is insane, bro.
Almost unbelievable.
That is crazy.
There's a tennis court, which is common enough for a house at this price.
Okay.
But then there's a full-size baseball diamond in the backyard. The Rock has his own personal baseball field, just steps from his back door. The driveway alone feels like an event, lined with mature olive trees leading up to a motor court with a stone fountain at the center. And the neighbors match the price tag. Denzel Washington, Sylvester Stallone, and Eddie Murphy all live nearby. For a...
That's crazy, bro. Imagine you live in a house, you buy a mansion, and it's a whole bunch of other rich niggas that live with you. Or next to you, they down the road. They your neighbors, bro. Bro, that's crazy, bro. That is just level. There's levels to this rich shit, bro. There's just levels to this rich
guy who
shit.
grew up moving between cheap apartments and motel rooms with his family, this house is proof of exactly how far he's come. However, while The Rock flaunts his lavish mansion, another member of the bloodline has a very different taste when it comes to real estate. Roman Reigns may be the most dominant force in WWE today, but his real estate choices are surprisingly down to earth. Reigns lives in Southwest Ranches, Florida, an area known for wide open lots, equestrian properties, and serious privacy. His current home cost him $2.4 million, a modest number compared to some of the mansions we've already covered. But the property itself is anything but basic. The house sits at just over 8,100 square feet, with 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms spread across the layout. It's built for a big family, which makes sense given how many kids Reigns is raising at home. The place is designed around comfort rather than flash, with an open floor plan connecting the kitchen, dining area,
but they ain't wrestling. You like to have fun, bro.
And living room so everyone can stay together instead of scattering across different wings of the house. One of the biggest draws is the view. Large windows wrap around the home, letting in natural light while framing a big backyard pool that becomes the centerpiece of the property. It's the kind of setup built for weekend afternoons with the family rather than big Hollywood parties. Reigns has moved around Florida a few times over the years, previously living in areas like Bloomingdale before eventually settling into this current estate. But wherever he's lived, one theme stays consistent. Reigns keeps his home life low-key and focused on family, which tracks with everything he said about being a father first and a wrestler second. And speaking of family-focused stars with a much different vibe, let's head to Missouri, where the Viper has built a home just as intense as his in-ring character, minus the venom. Randy Orton lives in O'Fallon, Missouri, a quiet suburb about 30 minutes outside St. Louis, close to where he grew up. Orton bought the property back in 2016 for $1.5 million. And it spans just under 4 acres with roughly 7,400 square feet of living space. The house leans into a rustic, grounded style rather than anything over the top. Inside, there's a media room, a billiards room, and an exercise room complete with a sauna, useful for a guy who's been in the ring for over 2 decades. Outside, the property includes a pool, a fire pit for cool Missouri evenings, and a 5-car garage to house Orton's collection. The backyard also has verandas and patios built for hosting, along with a barbecue area that gets plenty of use during the warmer months. What stands out most about Orton's home isn't the size, it's the location. Rather than chasing the beaches of Florida or the hills of California like so many of his peers, Orton stayed close to his roots in Missouri. But from the quiet streets of Missouri,
and that's like low key. I mean, obviously you have that house right there. But you have to go to get to Randy's house. Actually, I don't know what's going on over here. But for them to like, you have to kind of go through a little bit of woods. This is a tiny, you know what I'm saying, peak of woods. Yeah, this shit isolated though. Somewhat isolated. I mean, no, it is isolated because it's like you got this shit over here, you got this right here, and then I don't really see too much else. And he just built that in Missouri, bro. Everybody else is in Florida and shit.
Next, we head to Florida's Gulf Coast, where a legend spent his final years living larger than life. Hulk Hogan's final home was a waterfront compound in Clearwater Beach, Florida, put together in 2 stages. Hogan bought the main house in 2012 for $3.3 million, then expanded the property in 2016 by purchasing the house right next door.
We had to put him on here. What's going on, man?
For another $1.6 million. Combined, the compound was worth around $11.4 million. The main residence spans 5,400 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, built in a Mediterranean style that fit right in with the Florida coastline. Inside, there's a 2-way staircase with stained glass doors, a great room with soaring ceilings, and a gas fireplace overlooking a covered terrace with Gulf views. The kitchen is stocked with Sub-Zero and Wolf appliances, and for anyone who wanted to unwind after dinner, there's a 900-bottle wine cellar and a full home theater. Outside is where the property really earns its price tag. There's a resort-style infinity pool with dual spas, both indoor and outdoor kitchens, and a private dock offering direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. However, this wasn't Hogan's first rodeo when it came to jaw-dropping real estate. Before Clearwater, he owned a 17,000 square foot mansion in Bel Air that served as the backdrop for his reality show Hogan Knows Best, complete with a personal
shout out to Brooke Hogan, man.
Wrestling memorabilia museum. He also briefly owned an 18,000 square foot Miami Beach mansion that he later sold to director Michael Bay for nearly $19 million. Hogan's homes tell the story
Michael
of a man
Bay.
who lived.
Shout out to him for the Transformers movies. You feel me? Shout out to him for the Transformers
Big
movies.
at every stage of his career. But in stark contrast to Hogan, our next legend prefers to keep things simple away from the cameras. Brock Lesnar is famously private, and his choice of home reflects that. Lesnar owns 2 properties, both far away from the noise of big cities. His main home sits in Minnesota, valued at around $800,000, tucked away in a quiet wooded area. The house itself keeps things simple. There's a wood-themed interior, a spotless kitchen, and a hot tub out on the porch, perfect for unwinding after a hunting trip. His second property sits across the border in Merrifield, Saskatchewan, valued at roughly $2.1 million. This is where Lesnar actually spends most of his time with his family.
He don't seem like too flashy or flaunty, you know. Well, yeah. As far as like homes and shit, he don't seem, you know what I'm saying. He stayed just like Randy. He stayed in Minnesota. He stayed where he's in the state that he's from.
Far removed from arenas and cameras. Both properties give him easy access to hunting, fishing, and the kind of rural, self-sufficient lifestyle he's talked about loving in interviews. For a guy who's dominated both UFC and WWE at the highest level, Lesnar's homes prove he doesn't need a mansion to feel like a champion. Sometimes the biggest flex is simply not caring what anyone thinks. But from a man who avoids the spotlight, we head to Los Angeles, where another Paul Heyman guy built a home that matches his love of books, comics, and creativity.
Hey, Punker flex on him there.
CM Punk made his return to wrestling in 2021, and shortly after, he made a serious real estate move too. Punk bought a Spanish Revival home in the Los Feliz neighborhood of Los Angeles for $4 million. Built back in 1937, the home leans fully into that classic Spanish Revival style. Stucco walls, tile roofing, and arched doorways throughout. It sits on a good-sized lot and spans just under 3,800 square feet, with 3 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. Inside, the home clearly reflects Punk's personality.
It's shit kind of low-key, you feel me? It's shit kind of low-key. It's like, he got, like, you know what I'm saying, he spent some money. You know what I'm saying? He spent some of that Q money. But it's also low-key, like, because, you know, Rock had more. He got 11 bathrooms. Punk, he just got what? What do you say? He got like 6.
Inside, the home bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. The home clearly reflects Punk's personality. There's a library with built-in bookshelves, perfect for a guy known for his love of reading and comic books. The living room has wood flooring and a fireplace, and the kitchen was fully renovated with marble countertops and professional-grade appliances. Outside, there's an in-ground pool surrounded by landscaped gardens. Punk also still owns a home back in Chicago, his hometown, which he bought years earlier for just over $2 million. That property even includes its own tattoo studio, which generates rental income on the side. But going from Punk's humble abode, let's look at the mansion of the man responsible for building the entire empire that made all of these fortunes possible in the first place. Vince McMahon purchased his home in Greenwich, Connecticut back in 1985, right around the same time he was buying out his father's wrestling company. The estate sits in the ultra-exclusive Conyers Farm community, a neighborhood so private it's attracted neighbors like filmmaker Ron Howard and actor Tom Cruise over the years. The mansion spans roughly 12,400 square feet across 3 stories, with 7 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms in total. Walking through the front door, you're met with a double-height foyer and a sweeping staircase, the kind of entrance that feels more like a hotel lobby than a private home. There's a formal living room with a classic fireplace, French doors opening onto manicured gardens, and a wood-paneled library that gives off serious old-money energy. The amenities read like something out of a 5-star resort. A fully equipped gym, a 2-level swimming pool complete with its own...
This does seem like a old rich nigga home, for sure. It does seem like that.
Spa, and a conservatory for quiet mornings. There's even an elevator inside the main house and a separate apartment above the garage for guests or staff. Outside, a stone fountain greets visitors at the entrance, and the grounds include 2 separate gardens along with waterfront views near Converse Lake. Property records from years back assessed the estate at around $11.8 million, but Connecticut assessments typically sit well below actual market value. Media reports have consistently placed the real value closer to $40 million once you factor in renovations and decades of appreciation. From humble beginnings taking over his father's regional wrestling company to building a $40 million empire in one of the most exclusive zip codes in America, McMahon's house is the perfect final stop for our journey through lavish wrestler mansions. And if you want to take a sneak peek...
That's what's up. Hey, shout out to Wrestle Mafia for the vid, man. Like I said, link to the original will be in the description down below. You want to check it out for yourself. Bro, Rock's house... Bro, that shit's crazy, bro. Dude got 11 bathrooms. Dude has 11 bathrooms, bro. And he's right. That's more than a lot of people will use in their lifetime. Because some people, like you think about, I mean, you got school bathrooms. A lot of people won't use those. Obviously, you got your bathroom at home. Then you got, like, you go on a road trip, right? You got some rest stop bathrooms. Gas station. Some people won't use those either because that's a public bathroom. So yeah, bro, that's insane, bro. Having 11 bathrooms. Yeah, and then your neighbors also being like well-known movie actors. Like, that's your neighbors, bro. Like, if that doesn't show you that there are levels to being a rich ass nigga, bro, then I don't know what will. I don't know what will, bro. I deadass don't know what will, cause that shit is crazy. I think what they say he buy shit for like 27.6 million. Like, that's crazy, bro. So you know what, John Cena? I said let me hold something, bro. Actually, no, I said that to Rock. Yeah, Rock, you definitely let me hold something, man. Let me hold something, bro. Cause that's insane. But yeah, that is inside the most expensive houses of WWE wrestlers by Wrestle Mafia. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go give Wrestle Mafia some love as well. And like I said, I will be going live, God willingly, for SummerSlam both nights. So be on the lookout for that this weekend. And help us reach our goal of 500 subscribers. Go follow the Twitch as well. Y'all can follow me on Twitter. You feel me? Football season's on the horizon. You know, this past Sunday was the last Sunday without NFL football until February. So I'll probably definitely have to react to some preseason games for sure. Some Seahawks preseason games, definitely. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for showing love. Appreciate you for clicking on this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.